Happy Tuesday, everyone. We are starting the week off strong. Not the charts, but us here on the Hive, in the Hive community. We are the biggest buzzing hive in the trading community. That's what we're working toward anyway. And we are here coming to you Monday through Friday with our lives for about a month and a half now. And you know what? We're going to be there for you in every market condition, including these market conditions, because we've been absolutely smashing it in our private VIP trading group that's still open for free. All you have to do is verify through our bot and sign up for BYDFI. And also we're paying your trading tuition, which is a free $100 for any amount of deposit, $5, $10, whatever you want, onto BYDFI, because we want there to be no excuses for when this market turns around, which it will at some point. We don't know when, and that's what we're trying to figure out this week with our different theses, and also just paying attention to the charts, zooming out, having that patience, and having our game talk here, like our strategy, preparing ahead of time, because that is how you're going to win in these markets, by having patience, being prepared for any scenario, and being able to act on it when you see it. Because many people, when the time comes, aren't able to execute because they don't have a proper plan. Emotions get the best of them, and there's a lot of things that get in the way. There's a lot of noise. So we're tuning out the noise on this channel, and we're tuning into the signal. That's it. And the signal is always stronger together in the hive. You like that? So I'm so happy to be here with you guys. It's just another amazing day here in the world, and we're going to discuss more on our thesis of, are we closer to the bottom? Are we going to have a pump? Is that going to be the next bull market leg? Are we in a bear market? There's so many questions. There's so much uncertainty, but you know what? Uncertainty creates opportunity. Bubbles are not usually formed in mass doubt, fear, FUD, and opportunity. Bubbles are formed when it's peak FOMO and people wanting to, ape in at the top. I just don't see that. And so again, until proven otherwise, I'm going to continue to have this thesis that we have not seen the top and we're potentially not done yet. Now, is this a mini bear market? Is this a corrective phase before the next leg up? We don't know yet. We're going to take it day by day and let the price action dictate, because that's why we created this trading group, because you can not only have a long-term portfolio where you set it and forget it and have no stress, but you can also have less stress, more success in our trading group by following our simple strategy. So you can make money along the way and either compound your long-term bags or just make money to live off of. You can make this your full-time job, and it does not require you sitting at your computer staring at the charts all day. And that's what we want to transmit to you guys. In fact, we're going to have some interesting talk today on the show about that thing, about taking the leap, about what to do to set yourself up for it, about how Rob has traded his way up from difficult situations and made it. I mean, there are so many amazing things happening in our community. We have single moms who are absolutely crushing it, who are building a second income for themselves, eventually a first income. And that is why, I took this pivot that a lot of you know me as a long-term investor, which I am, and I always will be, but I added trading to my strategy, right? And it's multiplied the success so much more. And I want all of you to experience that. So on that note, we're going to dive right into the markets, see what's happening with Bitcoin, go over some of our setups. Our short setups have been absolutely crushing it. I mean, 100% gains with some leverage that our members are posting. So we'll show you that as well. Let me know where you're tuning in from, how you're feeling. Is it snowing where you are? Is it sunny? I know it's really sunny here in San Diego, California, which I love, but I know there's a lot of people who are in winter right now. In fact, in Stockholm, where my husband is from, he's from Sweden, it is snowing, and they've only seen 3 hours of daylight the entire December. So we got to keep your spirits up. And that's why we are the channel that has not faltered, has not changed our views just because of the noise and, the sentiment on X. And we'll be here for you as much as we possibly can. That's our commitment to you. So let's get into a little bit of the news of the day, because there's always bullish news, but, it just doesn't move the markets right now. So we just have to be patient. So not much has happened, but there are a lot of bullish things happening. Yesterday, Michael Saylor's strategy buys 10,645 Bitcoin worth almost $1 billion, you guys. And on that note, 140 million was liquidated from the market. So it's been a tough market, a very tough market. But yet we're getting all of this macro bullish news setting us up. So these institutions, they're looking to the future. They are 5 steps ahead. They're playing chess while retail is just panicking in the moment. We cannot be those people. I don't want you to be that person on this channel. I want you to rise above that and to see the bigger picture here. Okay. Bank of America says banks will move on chain over the next several years. Banks on chain over the next several years, not decades. Several years, guys. I mean, we're talking like by end of decade, 5 years from now, probably a lot sooner. Just patience is key here. Sec Chair Paul Atkins says public blockchains are more transparent than any other financial system ever built. I get this argument all the time from traditional Wall Street guys saying that crypto is for money laundering. I mean, it's just so basic, right? It's so basic. And, I did have this argument with one of one of the people at the table, at Thanksgiving table. And I basically told him, well, that's because you haven't studied. And he got so mad. Probably because I was also a woman telling him, but that's a conversation for another day. All I'm saying, guys, is that we are on a new frontier. We are, the brave ones wanting to reach out and see what the future holds. And that's why I'm so proud of all of you for tuning in each and every day. Martin, what's up? So much rain in Marbella. Even the monkeys have put on rain. Oh my gosh. I guess we left just at the right time. Sorry about that, Martin, because I know you're there, but I'm loving the sun, honestly. I'm just touching a lot of grass, going out, getting some like nice walks in the sun and enjoying that weather. So do whatever you have to do to keep your spirits up and stay happy. That's the bottom line, guys. So so back to the news. PayPal submits application to become a U.S. bank. Bullish. NASDAQ prepares filings to extend stock trading hours to 23 hours on weekdays. So they want to compete with crypto, right? Where you can trade 24/7 freely, any time of day, any time of night. Treasury Secretary Bessent calls to ban stock trading by Congress. Okay, so Elizabeth Warren is in trouble. Nancy Pelosi, sorry. So Treasury Secretary Bessent says China has met all negotiated commitments so far, which is, they're trying to project bullish news about China to set it up for probably an agreement. I bet they're going to announce an agreement sometime soon. U.S. unemployment rises to 4.6%, the highest since September 2021. What is going on? And then other news, Treasury Secretary Bessent says individuals may receive helicopter money, $1,000 to $2,000 tax refunds, Q1, not like somewhere down the line, Q1 2026. That would be another thing to add to the thesis if that were to happen, of 2026 potentially being the year where we see another leg up, right? And White House advisor Hassett says the U.S. is not falling behind China. Their number one worry. They don't want China to win and become the crypto capital of the world, and in every way, really, in technology and all the things. So, President Trump to interview Fed Governor Christopher Waller for Federal Reserve Chair. Lots of things happening, guys. That's the news. I just want to show you this thing as well. This is basically reflecting what the sentiment is right now in the market. Okay. People keep saying it's bullish. The Trumps are saying it's bullish, and yet it's the worst Q4 since the 2018 bear market. Truly unbelievable. But this actually plays into my other thesis. Now, check this out. This is what I talked about yesterday. The Bitcoin bottoming phase is loud. It is very loud. It's almost louder than, euphoric phase. And so all of these things, all of these bullish factors, MACD at cycle lows, RSI at historical reversal levels, reversal zones, price retesting the macro trend line, yet the crowd screams 60K or zero. This is where smart money steps in. The louder the fear, the stronger the reversal. I wanted to repeat this because for those of you who didn't see this yesterday, you just need to know this. And so also I'm seeing now in my X feed that people are calling for Bitcoin to go to 40K. Okay. Lots of low numbers. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when Bitcoin was, I believe it was 2023, Bitcoin was at $17,000, because I remember this because I remember buying it at that time, thinking this is an incredible buying zone, and people were calling for 10K, 5K. It was a very similar sentiment, and they didn't think that was the bottom yet, and yet it was, right? I think it bottomed out like right around 15,000. So this to me is what that feels like. Now, it doesn't matter what it feels like. Price will tell us what's going to happen, but it's very, very similar to that. People were very loud and vocal about Bitcoin, going to much lower levels. Now, it was a different point in the cycle, but I'm just saying it's similar sentiment, right? And even worse sentiment than then. So that's it for now. I'm going to set the tone with that. Okay. And we're going to get Rob on up here. Rob, how you doing?
I'm doing very well today. Just enjoying the weather as much as I can. It was nice 5 degrees outside today. So my car didn't really start almost.
Yeah. It's tough on the East Coast right now. There's a lot of places with a lot of snow. I know there's not a lot of light where you are. So you guys, you got to do something extra to keep yourselves healthy. If you can't get sun, do something that gives you that kind of like, the sun makes you happy. It gives you that, the dopamine, right? And it gets your happy vibes going. So it's
Indeed.
really important. Yeah. Yeah, it's important to keep yourself happy these days, and so we are going to add something to our Hive VIP trading group, which is a fitness plan, like a coaching plan, a diet plan, nutrition plan, gym plan, or outdoor plan, whatever you like, a plan to get you back on your feet healthy, the best ever version of yourself. Right. I remember I did this about 5 years ago and I got absolutely ripped. It was the best shape of my life. And you can do it at any age, at any moment in time. And it just feels so good. You feel like you're on top of the world. And we're going to do that together as a group. Isn't that right, Rob?
Yeah. So every time you get your stop loss hit, you have to do 50 push-ups.
There you go. We're going to make it fun, but we're going to be not only the biggest buzzing hive on the internet, we're going to be the biggest buzzing buff hive on the internet. Like buff, whatever your goal is, healthy, lots of energy. We are going to crush it in both ways because, life isn't just about monetary success. I believe money is a tool for freedom, but you can't enjoy that if you're not healthy, right? And so we're going to start that up as well. And that's going to be really fun. We're going to do that as a community, whoever wants to join. And that's going to be part of it because I think that, we need to be on our game in every single way. And it also keeps your mind sharp and just keeps the positive vibes flowing.
So you're saying whenever I got a tiny house in my driveway, right? So I got a tiny house. I'm gonna have to convert.
Right.
I have to convert that into my trading office. I'm gonna call it the war room probably. So I'm gonna be putting some exercise equipment in there, I guess. So that way, while we're trading, we could be working out at the same time.
Exactly. Get a walking, like, those walking treadmills by the stand-up desk, whatever you have to do, invest in your health, invest in your skills. Well, right now you don't even have to do that because we're giving it to you for free. So all of you who are just tuning in, again, link for the Hive VIP trading group Telegram is in the description below. If you just want to hang out, get good vibes, sign up to the Discord, sign up to both. But if you sign up to the VIP trading group, you get that $100 bonus for any deposit and you get to start practicing. That is more than most people ever had, right? I know, Rob, you had to start trading with your own money. You had to lose your own money to figure things out. And now we're not only giving away your strategy in the course that we just recorded, but also you're giving tuition money.
Yeah, I mean that's the greatest deal at one. If anybody wants to get into trading, that's almost basically the best deal you can get. One, most of the time you have to pay for courses or pay for ideas or how to learn how to trade. Right now you can get in for free, get our ideas off of us, ask us questions. A lot of places, whenever you buy a training course, typically you get the average breakout trading strategy. You get the average just oversold, overbought. That if you just Google it and AI it, you can basically figure it out real fast and easy where they got it from. Investopedia, you take a little bit time to do it yourself, and they just read off of Investopedia website. Where I actually use some of that stuff, yes, but also too, I've back tested certain things. I've created my own strategy using that, and also I've dug in deeper. I went into Fidelity, I went into other things and did some research on pro traders as well too, like the top traders in history and stuff like that. Saw their strategies, started incorporating some of those things, see what worked in crypto, see what worked with Forex traders, see what worked with stock traders, and kind of combined it all. So that way I had a good feeling of what things actually mean and how to actually use them in a way on a day trading basis.
Right, exactly. And so Rob has put all of that, everything it's taken him years to learn into one compact course that you guys can literally probably pound out in one day, although you'll probably have to rewatch it over and over again in order to master what he talks about. But it's consolidated, so it makes it simple, easy, and effective, but it really takes your trading to the next level. And so we've consolidated that all in a course and are giving you money to practice with, house money. Okay, so there couldn't be anything better than that. And I think that when opportunities like this come your way and you found your way to this channel, you need to seize them. You need to be open to them. You need to say yes, because you never know where that may lead you. And also you're going to meet some incredible people along the way. A lot of our members, we've got 500 members, guys, and a lot of them are skilled in so many different things. So we have different conversation topics, and they help us with different things. They make websites, they edit videos. We've got just so many talented traders in there sharing their ideas. So it is a whole community, and it's an amazing thing to be a part of. And we are always on every day, just writing the chat. Like I think I talk to these people more than I talk to my friends because we're just in there so much. So we want you guys all to be in there, and we want to be ready for what happens next. Which takes me actually to the topic. Every day I have to pick a topic, even though it's really more of the same analysis. We just try to look at different things. So the topic today was, is Bitcoin about to crash? What I'm watching. So I'm watching so many things. I gave you guys some hints as to like for me now, I'm looking at the fact that I like that theory of bottoming phases are allowed. And right now, what we discussed yesterday was that Bitcoin is building support, a foundation on top of previous highs, and that's really really bullish. Today we're going to look at some zoomed out views of Bitcoin. And Rob, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking the end. Oh, hang on one second.
His kids just got home. So what I mean is, guys, like it's more of the same analysis. I mean, basically, that's why not a lot of people tune in now, because when people tune in, they want to see bullish setups. They want to see altcoins that are ready to pop. They want to get rich tomorrow. But this is really how, your thesis is formed, and how your conviction as an investor and as a trader grows is by tuning in these times when things are not as easy. They're not as black and white. And again, like cycle tops and bubbles don't form in peak FOMO FUD, bad conditions like this. That's just like in all investing. That's not how cycle tops are formed. That's not how bubbles are formed. Right. And when that 2008 crash happened, how many people then were screaming, we're going to, zero, things are going to fall apart? Nobody, except for maybe the guy who did the Big Short. Right. But like what I'm saying is, usually when we're going to have a massive cascade or a massive crash, which is the title of this episode, is Bitcoin about to crash? We would have had a euphoric, sort of run up. We would have been, not many people are doubting it. Not many people are bearish. So like, it just doesn't match the traditional psychology of, when we're about to go down further, in my opinion.
All right, I am back. My son found $10 and he's really excited. I don't know where he got $10.
Oh, there you go. Maybe he can start trading with it.
Get him in the group. Get $100 to get
yeah, 10x.
But anyway, so where I think we're at, I'm gonna let the charts explain my theory idea, because I think we're just right where we're supposed to be at.
I like that answer.
Actually, where the RSI is at is really exciting for me. So let's go ahead and jump in the charts so that way I can show.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so I'm looking at the Bitcoin 2-week chart right now. We're going to start off here. And this is so let's just go look at the RSI. I've marked every cycle bottom here, basically. And we're going into where the RSI typically on the 2-week time frame is at a cycle bottom. And I made one just a little bit different. I highlighted it green because we went down here before. So every time we got under about 43 to 40, all the way down to 35 on the 2-week time frame, that was the cycle bottom on, I believe, every single cycle. And that's where we're going into right now. Now, does it look the kind of pullbacks that we used to get? It doesn't really look like a cycle bottom to me. So that's where it's kind of an anomaly. And the one time that this was wrong and we weren't at a cycle bottom was this area right here, right where this green line's at. We had the RSI go all the way down here. And that was whenever Bitcoin hit $3,000. I wasn't in crypto at that point, and then ran all the way up to $63,000. I got into crypto around this area. But anyway, or got into.
So that was the COVID crash, what you're looking at right there.
That's exactly it. The COVID-19 crash. That wasn't a cycle bottom. That was just a crash from that big news event, that big everything that going on. But that did not make a cycle bottom, of course, did not make a lower low or anything like that. And that's basically where we are at. We are going into those levels where COVID-19 RSI was at, which
So are you saying that we could have a black swan potentially imminent, or that we're already at the bottom of the black swan levels?
It seemed like we're close to it, maybe like midway of it. I mean,
right. Okay.
So I'm not saying that we are in a black swan. I'm just sitting there saying the RSI is at the same level. So if you would just take away price action and news and what you knew about then, you would just sit there and say, all right, I'm going to buy here. I'm going to buy in this zone. I'm going to buy in this zone. I'm going to buy in this zone. And every time you bought, you would always be in profits within the next 6 months to a year.
Okay. Wow. So think about this. Besides being in profits within the next 6 months to a year, if you buy at these levels, we are literally at the same level, low level of RSI as we were at the bottom of the pandemic panic black swan event. That is significant.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're close. If there is say a black swan, say Friday's news is the black swan event that was it Japan that's supposed to raise rates or something that was worried about? Yeah. I'll get into that in just a minute, but that's what everybody's worried about. So say that news does trigger, and it does trigger a big red candle or something like that. That might be the end of the black swan right there. You know, that was the black swan. That's what I mean, I can't say the black swan because we know that's happening, but maybe that's the
Right.
last bigger event of our last big red down. Or me. So one thing I learned, say we are in a bear market right now, which if you say in the stock market, we're down 20%. It's kind of been prolonged a little bit. We're down further now. We're down 30 some percent. It's been about 70 days from the top and everything like that. So traditional markets will call this a bear market. Bear markets can last anywhere. I mean, technically, this was a bear market for stock markets, and it was very short-lived months. I think 1980 as well too. That was like a 6 months bear market.
Right.
What is that noise? Sorry, my kid's phone going off.
No
But
worries.
so basically 1980, I think it was like 6 months or less. The bear market was in the stock market. So bear markets are all shapes and sizes and different things, depending on if you define them the way that crypto people define them, or if you define them the way that traditional stocks define them. Which I'm going with the traditional ways because we got BlackRock and Fidelity in the market now. We got the big players in the market now. So I'm looking at their definitions and just seeing what they look at.
Right, which was also part of my other thesis, which was this could be just a short bear market of like 6 to 12 months, of which we've already been through a lot of that time, throughout this year. I think that yeah, you could be right. I don't think December, I told everybody, I don't think December is going to be easy. We have, institutions repositioning, taking profits, stop loss harvesting. Loss harvesting, I forget what it's called, but when you take losses to be able to capitalize on those losses against your gains. So that is all happening in December. I never thought December was going to be, an easy walk in the park. And I think that thesis about Japan, or potentially some announcement this week, being like the last flush out before we're completely, we're seeing the bottom and we're ready to start turning a new leaf.
Yep. Or it's going to be, there's my other theory that it's already priced in to where we have, like the saying goes, buy the rumor, sell the news. Whenever it's in bear markets, I inverse everything. So it's, what is it? Buy the news now. So instead of selling the news, you're buying news. You're selling the rumor, shorting the rumor, buying the news.
I like that. It's inverse. It's the inverse signal. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think we're going to have to test that out, going back test that too. I think it probably would have worked pretty well this cycle.
Actually, but it worked pretty well last bear market. Because I would start buying bearish news things, and I would actually make profits on it. Then whenever it was going into the bearish news, I was shorting. I think it was the data. Whenever I started learning about all the FOMC data and stuff like that, I started doing the inverse of what was bullish and bearish. I was making money that way. I was like, oh well, it's really working, but it doesn't work as well as it was now because the rate hikes and the rate cuts, I think everybody's immune to that news now. It makes very small chop now. It doesn't really make big moves anymore. So I think everybody's just immune to it now. So we need different news events to kind of trigger things.
Right. So back to the summary, we could get some sort of news out of Japan hiking the rates or whatever it is this week that we see one more sort of flush out, but that would be, if not the bottom, I mean, very, very close, right? We are seeing the RSI at the lowest level it's been, basically at the lows that it was at when COVID crash happened, right? That is crazy. So we're seeing all this stuff that's reflecting that, we're not near a top. In fact, we're near another leg up, yet we haven't had the same amount of correction as we have previous bear markets. But that goes back to the theory that we're playing in the big leagues now with institutions and there's different rules, and probably should be looked at more like the stock market rather than traditional crypto 4-year cycles. So that being the case, we could see another leg up, sooner rather than later.
Yep. I mean, you got the Stosh 2-week Stosh RSI. I mean, I'm looking at that right now, and this is when you can start kind of zooming in a little bit. We got the 2-week close is this week. So we're going to be paying attention to that this week. We're going to see if we get that potential cross here. We're not nearly above 20 yet, so we got some time to get up there, but we might get that initial, you can see last week, the blue line, that's our fast moving line. That's starting to point up, and we want that to cross over the yellow line here, our slow moving line. That's our potential cross. And then once this gets above the 20 level, that might take another 2 more weeks or another month or so to get that above there. That's going to be our confirmed signal on it. And those don't happen very often. What's that? Once a year or twice a year, I think, for this time frame. No, right. I think once a year. Mm-hmm. So now when
once or twice is at a maximum, but I'd say one solid time per year. Yeah.
I mean, look at it real quick because I had it memorized for 2 week and 1 week. So 24. All right. So yeah, that 2 weeks is the what happens once a year. So we had ours this year already right back in here for that up run. So are we gonna have upside in next year, 2026, after year close potentially? Well, we don't have very much time until year end. Then after year end, we might have in the very Q1, we might be getting our bullish crossover and this going up for our run up in Q1 up into sell in May. So I'm going to the sell in May again, sell in May and go away.
Yeah, if we're playing by stock market rules, especially. Also, we got the potential helicopter money coming down, tax refunds, $1,000 to $2,000, says Secretary Treasury Scott Bessent. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things lining up to tell me that 2026 could bring in some good things for the market. So yeah, it's just so much confluence. It's hard to ignore. It's hard to ignore the confluence. And now all the people getting louder about Bitcoin going down to 40,000. Now I'm seeing on my timeline. It was 54 because that's a 200 MA. Now it's 40. It's like, man, where does this end? This just feels like when Bitcoin bottomed last time at 17,000. It really does. The same sort of things happening on the timeline, only we are in different conditions, yet we do have, I mean, Martin, you're right. Fundamentals are better than ever. And when fundamentals are, are aligned with what the charts say, fundamentals are bullish. The charts are saying we may be near a low for right now. You've got to start to plan accordingly, right? Until proven otherwise. Like I look at this as, okay, we've got X amount of time to be positioned, maybe 2 weeks to a month, right? Before things start to turn around. So I am like doing everything I can to get ready for that. And yeah, Watchman says, still making gains with the shorts. That's right. We got our community doing 100% gains with some light leverage. I mean, there are a lot of money to be made on shorts. In fact, we were calling one out yesterday. We'll revisit some of those setups, but we've been crushing it in the group. We'll go over that now. And then we have Bitcoin is a no utility scam. Okay, well, I don't know what your thesis may be, but that definitely doesn't line up with anything that we talk about on this show. But you're welcome anyway, because I think you could learn a thing or two. And there's a lot of things to look at. And regardless of what your thesis is, there's always something good to pick out of this that will help you form your opinion on the market, right? And facts and data to back it up. So you're an XRP fan. I see. Well, they're very different things. And again, all the altcoins, they're like software, guys. And maybe they're like the horses in the race, like the .com era, but of the blockchain era, right? So there's a lot of them that'll do a lot of good things. I hold a lot of XRP, but I also hold a lot of Bitcoin. And I think that everybody should get their hands on some. So anyway, Rob, back to you. We were talking about Bitcoin, zooming out, those crosses, they happen one time per year, potentially two. What else are we looking at?
Yeah. So, I mean, XRP guy, I mean, yeah, I like XRP, great token, but remember, all cryptos follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the leader. It's kind of like the S&P going up. You're gonna have stocks following it going up as well too. So we want the money to be flowing in crypto, and so we want to support everything. Everything's a good thing. Everything needs to be supported. So just
right
as well too. So nothing's bad. It's it's all money flow. So I'm gonna be looking at Bitcoin 1 day time frame right now too. And this is something I was kind of looking at earlier. And right here, I drew this white line. I think is very important. I'm going to zoom in a lot on this here. Let me go ahead. So 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour is all bullish, by the way. That's what my indicator is telling me. That's up there. I'm turning that off right now, so it's not clouding us. Let me go ahead and turn that all off. I have multiple time frames on one chart sometimes, how I trade.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and turn that off there. But this is what I'm looking at. So price action is really important to always pay attention to. Oh, now where'd that go? And right here, I have this line drawn right on the bottom of the candle closes here. And yesterday's candle close was just a little bit above it. And if we close right here too, we're going to be getting another close right a little bit above it. Then before that, our candle closes were right here. And what I'm starting to been noticing here is all of our candle closes on our lows are higher lows in the 1 day time frame. If you go off the 1 day candles right here, candle closes. Now, that can be the same thing said. We have this candle wick here, candle wick here, candle wick here, and candle wicks here. Every candle wick, all these candle wicks are higher lows. We're getting buyers that come in every time a little bit higher. And something I've noticed way back before is when you start seeing these little bit of differences, are good time to start paying attention, because typically what I've noticed, like especially trading like altcoins and stuff like that, you'll start seeing these little higher lows, and that's just big money slowly stepping in just a little bit every time, trying to get those lows and buy those lows and get their orders filled. That's the way I look at it. Big money is just tiptoeing in on those pullbacks. And that's kind of what
Right.
I'm kind of seeing as of right now. So very, very important to watch. Now, I'm going to focus in on where we're at exactly right now with these two candles right here. Now we got a long wick yesterday on the bottom time frame, and right now we have 2 hours and 45 minutes till daily close. If we close right in this level here, we're gonna have another long wick right here, and that could be a tweezer, that could be a two-stick candles pattern called tweezer stick candles, and that could be a reversal pattern for the upside. Now, we already got that in the 12-hour chart. That's whenever I started paying attention. I was looking at the 12-hour chart. Hey, I'm looking for tweezer candles. I posted
Wow.
in the group. So that's a reversal pattern on the 12-hour time frame. Now we're looking at the same thing on the 1-day time frame. So we are getting some reversal ideas here within the higher time frames. RSI is trying to get above 40 here. So once we get this RSI above 40, we're going to be looking at more bullish conditions, but we do need to stash RSI to kind of start getting ready to cross over too. So I'm not going to sit there and say we close today, we go skyrocket up, but we might start consolidating a little bit. This could be our low, our reversal signal starting off right here. We got the 1-day. Am I on the 9 still? Yeah, the 1-day 9 still it's at $90,000 right now. And so we need that 1-day. Once we close, that 1-day 9 is going to be a little bit lower. So maybe another day close where it gets a little bit lower. And these are kind of going to meet somewhere probably around 88,000, 85 or 89,000, somewhere in that area whenever Friday's news comes out. So we're going to be watching that close above the 9, or we can sit there and get a little bit more aggressive where the 12-hour 9's already down to 88,000, where we can set alerts on that as well too. We get that gives you 2 times to look at it per day on this idea here. We could be starting a new uptrend, a new swing up, new swing long ideas. That is potentially where my target, if we do get this reversal here, we came all the way back down here, we do get this reversal. My idea right now, I'm playing up towards the 1-day SMA 200 or the 1-week SMA 50. Those are my targets. I think we're going to get up there. I think we got liquidity up there as well too that we need to take out. Even if we are going to come back down, I think we're going to have some good swing longs coming up, in my opinion.
Right. I love this, Rob. And Rob was actually updating the group, as he said, about those tweezer candles. Just small things that we're looking at that people aren't talking about on X, that we're updating you in real time in the Hive Telegram group. Guys, so sign up, get verified by our bot, and get in there now, because this is essential information. Even if you are an XRP guy or an altcoin person, you need to know what's happening with Bitcoin, because that'll dictate what happens to the entire markets. I really like this analysis. And as you can see, everybody else is basing it on, the 50 and the 200 and that kind of stuff. But we're looking for the SMA 9, right? You can actually set the alerts on the SMA 9, like Rob showed you in TradingView. And once it gets above that 1-day SMA 9 is typically when that bullish price action will start to happen. And we have targets as well. So this is how you start planning ahead of time when you play chess. You don't wait for things to happen until people are calling it out on X. Influencers, you see it here on this channel. That's our goal, guys. We give you a little bit of the juice here on YouTube, but we can't update you in real time. We do that in the group. So this is very valuable information. XRP, guy, if you want to know what's happening with XRP, you've got to know what's happening with Bitcoin. And, I think in previous cycles, people were less excited about Bitcoin, more excited about altcoins, but it's become clear that Bitcoin has cemented its place in the world as the new form of money and the new store of value. It's completely different than the altcoins, and I think it's very important to hold both. I like what you said, Martin, about Bitcoin will be prime collateral for the banks. Absolutely. It's a different vehicle. It's a different type of, different asset altogether than XRP or any of the altcoins. So I hold both, and I do think it's gonna. So one thing I think you're right about as well. I'm just gonna call you XRP because I don't know what your actual name is. Bitcoin is a sponge to absorb liquidity to pour into XRP. Okay. Well, what I agree about there is that the rotational play does happen, but I mean, the banks, the institutions, sovereign wealth, many people, they're not going to let go of all of their Bitcoin, right? But there will be some rotational play. That's for sure. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. I hope you join the group. Hope you all join the group and you stay updated 24/7 on what's happening in these markets, because it is starting to get exciting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, rotational plays. I mean, that's awesome. Like, I would love for money to flow into XRP because you know what's going to happen? It's going to flow back into Bitcoin, and you can make exponential money by trading pair trades and getting in and out, and you get to collect both whatever asset you're looking for. So, rotational, that's a good thing for markets. That creates more liquidity. That creates more price action. That creates more opportunity for you to increase your buying power with trading.
Right, absolutely. So we are looking at that rotational play. We're looking at it all because on this channel right now, what we're focused on is teaching you how to trade. But it matters for everything. It matters for long-term holds. It matters for midterm holds. All of it can be dictated by what's happening with Bitcoin and what's happening in the market. So that's what we're trying to keep you updated on. On these YouTubes Monday through Friday. And again, we're doing this just because we want to provide as much value as possible. So we appreciate it if you smash the like, hit subscribe, share the stream, and join our group, guys. Join our group because it's not going to be free for much longer. And we want as many of our OGs and true supporters to get in while you can.
Yeah, 100%. So now I'm just gonna do one more Bitcoin, a little bit talk, and after that I'm done with Bitcoin. We are in this basically this channel right here, where we're basically forming a trend in here. Looks a little bit kind of like a giant bear flag. It's very choppy looking, but it more looks like liquidity plays to me right now. So we're definitely just in market makers taking out liquidity. And I've been basically keeping the market up to date with that. I'm going to go ahead and jump into our liquidation chart. So earlier today, we have some liquidations of the upside. These are very weak. They were all completely yellow up here today, but now it's switched all down to lowers right around the 86K zone. So now we have liquidity down there. So we're definitely still in a chop area. And I think this might be we're either waiting for year end or we're waiting for that news on Friday to see what kind of happens. And we're just basically in a sideways chop today. I personally didn't do very much trading just because I did very good for the beginning of the week. And I just don't want to give back my gains. I wasn't seeing the one trade that I did post. What was it? I can't remember the name of it now, but it is some people are making money off of it. So yeah, so it's just we're just waiting on this right here. So ain't very much more to talk about on Bitcoin. Let's go into some altcoins. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think that's a really solid point what you bring up. A lot of times, there will be the trading conditions, there will be the right setups, and it's time to be in the market. But other times, if you try to replicate that, even when it's not showing up or the trades aren't coming to you, you'll give back those gains. So you do want to sit it out if you don't see anything clear and control the FOMO. If you see one or two setups that pop off that you're not in, that's okay. Go to the next one, right? It's not always the time to be in the market constantly, and we want you guys to keep those gains. And that's what we're also trying to teach here. It's not about trading 24/7. It's about, mastering those skills and knowing when to get in and when to get out.
Yeah, like I think I posted some in the group that there's always another trade. So let me go ahead here.
Watchman, been supporting us since November 2023. Wow. Thank you so much for that. You are truly an OG. We need to get you hooked up with something like an OG badge or I don't know. Let's figure out some sort of bonus for you, Watchman, because that's pretty amazing. You've been coming in with the good vibes and the dancing emojis for years now. November 2023, that is actually right at the time I'm talking about now, which was right before Bitcoin started to blast off when it was right around, the $17,000 level. So that's pretty awesome. Cheers to you, man. I mean, if it were crypto and cocktails, I'd drink to that. Well, by the way, that is an announcement I wanted to make. We will be doing crypto and cocktails this week on Thursday because I'll be traveling on Friday. So Thursday, crypto and cocktails, guys. So get ready for that. And Watchmen, thank you so much for all your support. It means a lot.
Yeah, thank you for the support.
Yes, so let's dive right in. First off, let's see some of those results. I know some of our community's been doing amazing. I just saw 100% gains on a Floki short or a Folk short. Lots of stuff happening.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into that real quick. So Dash, that was one I posted the other day, and so we could sit there and keep trading that one as well too. Somebody got in the group, they got Dash really well. So this isn't my result here. This is somebody else's from a setup that I posted 2 days ago, and it has a lot of downside, in my opinion. I think we just broke a inverse head and shoulders neckline. We came up and bearishly retested it, and now we have more downside. So I might be getting back in later on once we get to the next entry level here. So somebody float, I'm not sure if it's posted in group or not, but using our strategies, what we taught them in the long run here, and they 7x leverage, doubled their money. Very, very great trade there this person had. Yes, definitely get some gains here. These are, just very, very simple. Lots of strong gains, and just basically after things that we've taught them. And you go ahead and go into
We had a nice gun long earlier too. We had just so many different in any market conditions, you guys. That's the cool thing about it. And by the way, Watchmen, I can't remember if you're a trader or not. I think you might be, but I don't know if you're a long-term investor. If you're not, get into the Telegram Hive, the VIP trading group, and we'll hook you up with some bonus for being such a long-term supporter. You can go ahead and DM me there. I like to reward community that is supporting us and support them back. So yeah. Also, just one quick shout out to all our Binance listeners, guys. We get thousands of people watching on Binance live every day. To you guys, the link for the Telegram is in the description. You have to copy and paste it into your browser if you want to learn how to trade, get those signals. And we thank you to the Binance community for all your support as well.
Yeah, thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. So, like the other day, I was out with my kids, took them to see Santa Claus, and they got the red story and got a present. And that's just something I'm very big on supporting people with family life because I think it's really important. And that the short term, the day trading, the scalping, it makes you be able to trade whenever you're ready for it or whenever the market presents to you. And you also learn that there's always another trade. That's my lesson number 12 to people. I'll be showing these on YouTube more often. I got more of these. Like I said, I think it's my last one, number 12 here. But there's just always another trade. There's always another opportunity in the market. There's just always another chance to make money in this market. You just got to be patient. You got to wait, and you also got to learn. Whenever you're patient waiting, the best thing to do is actually to learn and ask questions and pick people's brains who's been in the market for a while, who's been trading for a while, or who's been very successful in trading for a while. So, I mean, right now is a great time to get in and ask questions and be like, hey, what should I do with this? Or what do you think of this? And I'll sit there and be like, this is what I think of it. And this is what the chart's showing me. So,
right. Exactly. That's a very important lesson. Indeed, guys. We go over not only, setups and strategies, but also mentality. Mentality is very important in trading because you can give it all back, even if you are learning the skills and doing the right things. Just because your emotions get the best of you, or you're in too many trades, or you're over trading, it's all a thing. So we're just going to teach you the whole package, right? How to fish.
Yep, you got to learn how to fish. This is our Bitcoin group. Today, like I posted in Bitcoin today, that we had. This is our liquidation map right here, right there. Longs we're gonna get liquidated, then shorts we're gonna get liquidated. It's just very choppy, very weird day to day, very slow. Like I was sitting there saying, I think right here, this is what is the chart. So I have a bot that sends me these right here. So I get these sent like every 3-4 hours, I think it is. And so that way I can sit there and see the history and what's going on. That way I can keep track of it all myself as well too, on how often this changes on me. We had some liquidations up to the higher, which I don't think we ever really got all the way up there and hit it. And I just looked at it a little bit. I got another one sent to me. All of a sudden, they were just kind of basically getting close to be gone, and it was all down lower now. So it's just very liquidity based right now. And
right.
So it's just very.
Yeah, been helping a lot for sure.
My kid started blasting music. Sorry about that,
guys. Family life. That's what I'm saying. We're bringing you these lives every single day that we can. With or without commotion, we're here for you. So, but there are families, and I think it's actually just all part of it, right? Like we're here trying to give you that value, even though there's things going on, and that's how we thrive as a community. Is that we're always here for each other.
Yeah, and I just want you guys to know, it's like if you have some, there's times where I have hard time trading because I have kids asking me questions. I'm helping them with that. And there's times I mess up on my trades, and I want you guys to know that's normal. I'm not a perfect trader myself. There's times where I make mistakes, or I forget to do this, or forget to check on this, because I'm a human as well too. I can teach it pretty well, but I also teach real life on it as well too. Like one of my things which is very surprising. You don't hear anybody talk about this, is make sure that your spouse is happy with you, because if you're in an argument with your spouse, your significant other, I guarantee you that you're going to revenge trade, or you're going to trade angrily, and you're going to lose. I've already done that. So if me and my spouse ever get in a fight, my goal is actually to make a relationship always better, because if I don't, I trade worse. I have it documented in my trading journal. It's not what do I do anything different? The signals change? No, my reactions change on how I trade, and whenever me following my rules change, I change. So that's something that I have documented in my trading journal. Like if I am in a fight with my spouse, I don't trade anymore because I know I'm going to lose.
Hey, that's a real thing, and your emotions get the best of you, and you do things aggressively that maybe you shouldn't. It's a real thing, and I think these things need to be talked about. I agree with you. If I'm, having bad vibes, or having an off day and I'm getting in trade, I'll often lose too. And I also notice that, but it's not something everybody talks about, right? So guys, it's important to keep the good vibes flowing. And on that note, I want to highlight this because this means a lot. Watchman, I was going to quit like Q3 in 2024, but your encouragement for sure helped me stay in the game. I'm so glad I didn't. And honestly, that means so much. And I'm so glad that you said that, because maybe you're helping somebody else who's thinking about quitting, or who's getting down on themselves, or, who's having a tough time. And guys, we are, like, the light is coming through the end of the, like, we are in one of the most important industries of our lifetime, if not the most important. Wow, like, I don't want anybody to give up or be in despair. There's always a way to climb back up. There's always a way to learn new skills and to do better and to build on what you've started. Never give up, never quit. That is the only thing I can say. And I'm so glad that you didn't, Watchman, because there's amazing things coming. And he loves to see your dogs too. You know what? Purdy, or the Dalmatian, is our spirit animal here in the hive. She's not a bee, but we're both the queen bees because we're both ladies. And yeah, I love it. I love it. Happy wife, happy life. Yeah, you got it, Watchman. He's nailing all of the things that we're trying to say. You're just summarizing it up very nicely. Yes, that is true. And from experience, as well as a wife, I would agree with that. So yeah, that's our trading mentality for the day, guys. And obviously, you've seen what's happening with Bitcoin. We're potentially in reversal territory. So let's see how that plays out. And I think what would be interesting, Rob, is to go back and look at the setup we were looking at yesterday, FET.
Okay, yeah, let's look at it. I also wanted to show this here. This is the so our.
Hold on, I got to add your charts again. There we go.
Am I added? All right. Yeah. Yep. Before we go to that, here in our general's announcement group, I just posted the bull market peak indicators here for sell to top. None of them hit. So
not zero. How many are there?
There is, on this page right here, 30.
30. 0 out of 30 top indicators are even close to firing off, guys. So that does say a lot. I'm glad that you put that up there. It's all part of the puzzle. It's all confluence, right, as to what we're seeing in the chart. So yeah, take that for what it is. But yeah, they're in green territory. I mean, they're not even in that like dark gray or even light red. It's just so far away from firing. It's not even that it's not the top. It's very far away from it. So that's significant in itself.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty big deal. So, yeah, we'll look at FET. I think FET just kind of chopped around a little bit. It was one of those ones you would actually have to sit there and watch. And me, I don't sit and watch charts. I just don't do it. I have too many things to do. I make a setup and I set alerts, and whenever it goes off of my phone, I look at it and see if I want to take it.
So, right, and like that's part of it, because you did say, Rob, if it doesn't play out in X amount of time, you're out. Right? I mean, that's something that you mentioned yesterday on the stream.
Yeah, just the idea is usually if it doesn't play out max amount of time, my idea is wrong. If it's in profits, I take what I have. If it's at break even, I don't lose anything. If it's my stop loss, and I get my loss, and it's whatever. Right. And that loss I was already prepared for, so I'm not really. When I get at this point now, I've been in the game so long. When my stop losses are hit and I take a loss, it doesn't bother me because I plan for it. It's like say you're a contractor putting on a roof and or doing something like that, or put on floors, and your air compressor goes, and it's just like that. Like, all right, I gotta go buy a new air compressor. I lost $150 on an air compressor, and goes through every so often. So you're gonna plan for buying maybe one new one a year because you use it so often it's gonna break on you. So like, oh, it broke. All right, I took a loss there. I need to go buy a new one. It just happens.
Right. Exactly. So that's just what it is. Like, you're not going to watch it all day. Although I do see that maybe one of those shorts played out, but
actually,
but yeah,
we're at the same level. We let me go ahead and turn on my indicators, see if any of the so what I was looking for was for fair value gaps in the 4-hour time to get filled. I think we had one here. Let's go ahead and look at the replay button so we can see if we had one there. Why did that pop up? Every time they update someone in TradingView, I get annoyed. Then I have to sit there and relearn something. All right, so yeah, so yesterday I was looking for like this fair value gap and potentially this fair value gap to get filled. And now whenever we look at it, let's see if they got filled. One got yeah, so the one got filled, one got up to the other one. So my high time frame short entry did come, and then we had a fart coin alert just went off on my computer.
fart coin alert. We're gonna have to look at that one, guys.
So yeah, basically we're kind of doing what I expected. We're not dropping like I expected. Actually, our entry came. I'll be taking profits already, and my stops will be in profits if I did take entry. I think I was too busy today to even look at the chart and take a look at it. But if you would have been watching the chart in a smaller time frame, I had a long idea as well too. That if we got a long, we could have got some type of long in here to get up to there at some point. So we hit my target for the take short on it, to open short up. And if you could have got that long entry and got that long, what was it? I think 5%. Yeah. So yeah, 5%.
Perfect. Wow. Yeah, that's exactly your rules.
Yeah, so right there, and like I said, whenever you're scalping or day trading, depending what size market cap it is, give or take a little bit, you get that 5% move in a scalp or a day trade, you typically get a rollover. That's why I sit there and say take profits on that during that 5% move. Like if you're scalping 5% close trade, get out, you're probably going to roll over. Day trade, start taking profits at 5%. Move your stop losses up, see what happens. Go for that 10%. If there's good volume on it, go for that 10%. If there's not good volume, choke that trade up. Make sure you got something kind of locked in. But most likely you're gonna get stopped out on it. And basically that's what that did. It got up to 5%, hit that bearish order block in the fit 5-minute chart and 4-hour fair value gap, bearish fair value gap, and rolled over. So we're in the same zone here, and it's just chop zone. So you're playing those small moves right now. Like I said, everything's kind of choppy right now. You're not missing anything. If you're able to sit there and you're good enough, you can get in and out like these right here, or if you have your alerts on it, or you got a good clear setup on it, and you're just trying to find something strong on it. So
right. So that's a good update, though. It did end up playing out the 5% move. We got up there, and then you could open the short, and it's not even prime. It's very, very subprime market conditions, and we're still being able to get these moves. So that's amazing in and of itself.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, I mean, you have to sit there and watch a little bit. It was a little bit harder one to get, but if you know the skill set, if you know what you're looking for, one could have definitely got up there sitting there watching the chart. Was I sitting there watching to get it? No, I wasn't. Like I said, I made enough money on Monday, I think Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, that I'm happy with how much I made this week, to where I just don't want to give them back trying to overtrade with something that's what I was doing today was the market conditions were not good enough for me to be able to operate, not being able to go check out the charts at home. Which now,
and that's very good advice too. I mean, a lot of people will try to get you to trade as much as possible because it's more beneficial in some way, but we want to give it to you like it is on this channel, and just tell you don't always need to be in a trade, and that's very valuable advice in itself.
Yeah, you make 5K in 2 days. Sometimes take a break. Like 5K is a lot of money in 2 days. Like,
walk away, take a break. Don't give it all back. That's it.
Back. That's like, think about that. Like, so get to your goal up to. I mean, people want to make millions of dollars. They want to make life-changing money, but I'll tell you what, when you start getting your bags up there, you start compounding gains, and you start getting those bigger percentages in there, you can make 5K in 2-3 days. That there, if you're making, a machinist makes around $27 to $28 an hour. That's more than a machinist makes in a month. That's a career machinist that's been doing it for 10 years.
Right. Wow. So, and that's on the road to quitting your 9 to 5. If that's what you want to do, and you're watching this channel and you want to be free and you want to learn how to supplement your life with trading or make it a full-time job, you can. It is possible, but you need to have some discipline.
Yeah, you need to have discipline. You need to learn to take profits. You need to learn to pay yourself. You need to learn all that type of stuff, and that's just all part of it. And I think that's where people have trouble at. That's paying themselves. I never hear of people paying themselves. Me, you'd ask Megan. I talk about it all the time. I pay myself all the time. I'm always taking money out. I'm always buying something for my kids. I'm always buying something for my wife. That's another thing. Whenever I make good profits, I always buy something for my wife. I always get her a present.
There you go. Happy wife, happy life, like Watchman says. I like it. I think it's a great strategy.
Like if you're sitting there, like say you do get one of those big trades where you make some good money on it, take someone out and buy something for significant other, because I'll tell you what, how many hours you put on that chart is hours you took away from your family, and they deserve part of that reward as well too.
Yeah, I like it. I like the mentality. We're all about the family life on this channel as well. So we're all about a good, healthy, balanced life. That's just it. And that's what I love about this. So is there anything else we can update here on FET, or should we take a quick look at Fartcoin before we sign off?
Let's see Fartcoin, see if it's an old alert or not. Alert or not. I had a lot of alerts set on that one there.
Let's see what's happening. Yeah, we got a lot of alerts set, so it could be many things, but let's have a look.
Well, apparently it's bullish.
Wow. Look at that.
Let me look at the volume here. I have my volume turned off. Let's see here. Fartcoin.
Yeah, volume is a very important part of what we teach in the trading strategy course. So it's one of the biggest guides.
So yeah, this is actually a hard one here. This I'm looking for a liquidity grab above 35 because it actually might be a short opportunity. Because what I'm looking at right now, what I can just see is, so we have this price action going up, right? And this is why I want to turn my volume. So like, oh, that kind of looks bullish right now. And you kind of look at it like, oh, if we break this 30-minute 200, we get above this area, we're bullish, right? And that's what you're going to be thinking. And where I'm seeing here, I'm going to take this from this point here. We have volume going down. So buying volume is going less. Yeah. Must be a different chart I have this all set up on.
All right. So decreasing volume, but increasing price is not bullish in and of itself.
Yeah, going into a bearish order block. So what might happen here is we get some kind of long wick right here this is Monday's high as well too. So we might be like bearish retesting this zone right here. We get that long wick. We kind of come back down and we lose the 1 hour 9 or 30-minute 9 or something like that. We might be looking actually a short opportunity. Unless, I mean, we go to smaller time frames. Let's see here. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna have to wait for. So we're getting some of that buying volume here. So we're in an area here where it's just kind of we got to wait for candle closes. Why did that switch on me? I had too many charts open here.
It's there to the left. Yeah.
There it is. So yeah, we kind of got to wait for opportunity. So 5-minute chart. If you do want to try long in it, wait for this 5 minutes to come back down, fill this fair value gap, and keep tight candles here. And you might be able to long up to this area. If we're truly bullish here, because we do have some volume in the small time frames. But again,
Right.
1 hour time frame, we're looking at the 1 hour SMA 200 as well too. Like this is me. I'll probably end up, we close underneath here and the volume kind of starts dying off here. I might I'll probably end up shorting this more than longing it.
Right. Okay. So you could potentially long on the shorter time frames, like 5-minute, 10-minute, and get it up there, but it's potentially then a shorting opportunity after it reaches that bearish order block.
Yep, and we could be looking to get like, I would say previous week low is pretty good. That's 5% move. I like that target right there. If we get all the way up to 36 cents, and I'm gonna go ahead and look at one more thing on Fartcoin. Let's see where Max Payne is on it. So let's go into liquidations.
See, and now you're getting some of his secret sauce about what he looks at when going into these charts and deciding whether or not to take a position.
So Max Payne for shorts is not very high. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. There's not very much liquidity on it. That's what I'm kind of looking at right now.
Right. So one to keep an eye on, but not one of the prime setups, to put it that way.
Yeah, it looks like it's taking out liquidity to the upside. So I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I think it's going to create a good short opportunity. Now, if this trend line holds, so we get back there, we get on this trend line, that's whenever you want to put your stops and profits, because we might come back on double top. If you get stopped out, you get an opportunity to get in or something like that. And if it does get stopped out and breaks this level here, we might be going all the way up to 39 cents here. But we need to break that 1 hour SMA 200. If we get rejected from there and we close the 1 day underneath here, we're looking at a short opportunity, because the 1 hour SMA 200 is a very, very important SMA 200. I think it's actually more important than the 4 hour and 12 hour SMA 200 for one reason, and one strong reason only here. And I will show you that just in a second why. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line right to the 1 hour SMA 200, right? I'm going to show you why this is the SMA 200 is very important to me. And I'm going to go to the 1 day time frame. That line's right up with the 1 day SMA 9. Wow. So that could be a bearish retest of the 1 day SMA 9. And if that is true, let's go ahead, delete that. If that is a true bearish retest of the 1 day SMA 9, we may be going all the way down underneath 30 cents again and do this fib retracement. Let's go ahead and look at our oscillators. We have bearish momentum, bearish cross. RSI is rated on 50, so we're 50-50 on the RSI right now. So if we don't close above the 1 day 9, it's bearish. If we close underneath it, if we close above it, it's bullish. I mean, that there is just very simple to me.
I love the way you explain that and all the different confluences you look for as to whether this could be a big shorting opportunity or potentially the beginning of, a swing up. So guys, this is how Rob looks at the charts. These are the different things to go and look for on different time frames when you're looking to get into a setup. It's not just, oh, it's bullish on this time frame. You've got to get the whole picture to get the best idea of what you're looking at.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'll be that's what I'm all looking at in order to take an entry. And we're so close to 1 day close and we're so close to that level where, what is it? 1 day close is now in So your time your close. So if you're ever looking for whenever your candle closes, look to your right over in this area. That tells you when your candle's closing for whatever time frame you're on. So 2 hours and 16 minutes. We got so you can wait for 2 hours, look at the 1 hour chart, and see if we broke that 1 hour SMA 200, and see if we can sit there and get in an entry for long or short.
Right. Now, that's really helpful when trying to decide, should I get into the setup? Should I wait? These are all the things that are going to make you the next level trader. Okay. So this is the setup we're going to leave you with. Of course, we've got tons of setups in the group, keeping you updated 24/7. And your last call, it's first and foremost, sign up to BYDFI. The link is in the description below. There's no KYC. You use your Gmail, and you get, if you then join our group after signing up, you verify with the bot. You get a free $100 to trade with any deposit, whether that be $5, $10, whatever you want to do. And there will be other bonuses for big supporters like Watchmen and people who are avidly trading and posting in the group. So if you are trading and posting your results, you may just be getting a massive bonus in your DMs from me and Rob. So look out for that. We're all about rewarding people and helping people along the journey, and it's very meaningful to us. So on that note, we reached the hour, guys, and it's been an amazing time, again, hanging out with you here, chatting with you, talking motivation, talking life goals, and learning how to trade in the process. That's what we're all about. So yeah, we will be back with you tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. We cannot wait. We're getting down to the wire here, and we really need to get ready. So thank you, all of you, for tuning in today. And Rob, any last words?
Be patient. Look for your signals. Take confirmed entries. Don't take entries based off of X. There you go. Those are my tips.
That's right. That's right. Be disciplined about your entries. And most of all, if you're in the group, you'll be updated anyway. But this is how you can learn to do it on your own. Be self-sufficient, including the group. So yeah, that's it, guys. We really enjoyed tuning in with you today. And please do tune back in tomorrow at 3:30, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good evening.